Awful.
Well, we have one of my dear friends and a hero in the state of Michigan, in the Oakland County, Sheriff Bouchard. Are you with us?
Hey, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. It's always good knowing that you have our back in Oakland County and got the badge and the gun and holding up law. So I was thinking, about you when the FBI foiled this attack that was going to take place. Mom turned in her son, and they were going to use drones to
Yep.
bomb. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, with
Yeah.
the creative, you know, how scary is it out there right now? And I got to believe, your head's on a swivel of 360 with everything going on in the world for which we live, especially with, I hate to say this, but, with Middle East tentacles over here with regards to Iran and everything else going on. You gotta probably have your head on a swivel.
100%. That's one of our worst nightmares. I actually testified before Congress years ago about the drone threat and said it's not a case of if, it's when it's going to manifest itself here. And then there's going to be hearings. Why didn't we do something about it? And there's some very easy things we can do. Now, thankfully, Congress did put it in the NDA, the reauthorization of the National Defense Act, where local and state communities can do counter drone. But the problem is, obviously, in a federal government way, by folks in the government, the pipeline got built in a very thin way. So we don't have as many people that are trained up and ready to do the things to protect venues around the country. They prioritized anybody that had a soccer venue, which I understand. But, I have been suggesting for years what they needed to do is train the trainers and then send them out across the country,
Right.
which would dramatically increase the amount of communities that are ready for an event. Because on any given day, even if you have one in every state, what if Michigan State and Michigan both have football games on the same day where we have a very large event in Oakland County and maybe one in Detroit? Then you pick one venue, gets protection until there's more training done, and that may take a year or two or three.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So
No.
we need to have a sense of urgency. I appreciate Congress acting and the president signing it because they pushed it.
Right.
So, the president saw this as a threat and Congress acted and put it in. But now we just got to get the federal bureaucracy, if you will, to push it out and get the training done and allow us. I had actually purchased orders to buy counter drone stuff almost a decade ago, believe it or not.
Really?
And we were blocked by the federal government because we weren't authorized to use it. And so now, thankfully, the authorizations have been put into place. But now we just got to open the pipeline because this isn't, again, a question of if. Not only was this the plan in the White House, but if you remember in the recent future, there was going to be a terrorist attack in Macomb County that was going to kick off with a drone attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is not rocket science. We need to get in front of this. The number one cause of casualties in the Ukraine war, 85%.
Drones.
Yep.
Drones,
Yeah.
not artillery,
Yeah.
not jets, not even, small arm fire. It is drones.
Right.
And so they have been weaponized to a point where they're cheap and they're effective. And we need to be in front of that battle.
Sheriff, how does the use of drones to I know there are some areas where now Amazon can deliver you things in, I don't know, 6 minutes because they can send it via drone. Do more drones in the sky, even if they're just for commerce, complicate law enforcement with drones?
Yeah, they do. And we've had some discussions with Amazon. Amazon kind of came in with a big foot, we're a big company and
Right.
in this international reach, and we should be, kind of given the pathway anywhere we need to go. And my answer was, look, we have drones as first responders that are going to people in mental health crisis or lost children that, may be at risk of going in a lake or drowning in a pool. Why wouldn't we have priority over those routes when we're flying our missions? I mean, if we're
Right.
running lights and sirens to an emergency call, the Amazon delivery trucks have to pull over.
Mm.
But in the sky, apparently, no. And so we
Great
need
analogy.
to recognize some of these kinds of things that, just yesterday we had the pop-up drones. We were looking for 2 suicidal young girls, very
Oh,
young
Oh
girls
my
oh my
that
God.
were
God.
suicidal.
Tell,
So
tell me a good ending
thankfully,
to this.
both of them were, yeah, thankfully they were both found, recovered, and taken to treatment.
Mm.
But
Yeah, but point
those
well
are
made, right?
literally
My last
everyday
minute
events.
pinata I need delivered shouldn't
Right.
take
Versus,
precedent
yeah, I
over,
need my
right?
toothpaste dropped off.
Yes, yes.
Right.
So, we need to have some policies about airspace. We need to have, obviously part of our policies are very important and very restrictive on privacy, which they should be, and we want them that way. That, we're not looking in anybody's yard. We're going directly to a call and directly back and not looking at anything in between. All of those things have to and have been put in place for us, but we have to begin to constantly look what's the threat that's around the corner. And this isn't that far around the corner. It's here.
Yeah. No, it's
Wow.
scary.